Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Mine's been phenomenal. The Overwatch World Cup has been amazing, but nobody is here for the World Cup right now. You guys are here for them juicy ass leaks because I got the absolute juice, boys. I am delivering the leaks straight to you guys. They are all 100% confirmed. My sources are completely legit. Everything I'm going to be talking about in this video is 100% going to happen. So with that in mind, guys, if you're excited to watch this video, be sure, pause it, go down below, click the like button. Let's try to get it to 2,000. Who knows, maybe if we get 2,000 likes, I'll keep giving you guys the juicy leaks. And then also, if you guys haven't already, click that red subscription box, pause the video, and please do subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated on anything and everything Overwatch League news and World Cup. Whether there's roster changes, players getting kicked from their teams, trades, anything, guys, you will find it here on my channel daily, so click that red subscription box. And now, without further ado, let's hop into the video. Alright, before we get straight into the leaks, I do want to focus a little bit on the Toronto spot as a whole. I want to talk about who owns it, who are the guys on top, who have they hired to do certain jobs, because I think it all really matters and comes together at the end of the day, and it will be the reason why I believe Toronto is going to be a super strong team going into next season. Alright, so starting off with who actually owns the spot, we have Overactive Media and Splice. They are the two big organizations that jumped into this together, and then they pulled in some really strong investors. These investors come from Canada. They are part of the KINGmykL family. Now, this is a big reason why the city is in Canada and it's Toronto, because they're big investors. The guys putting all the money down, they are Canadian. They're big on Toronto. Now, the KINGmykL family, they have a ton of money. They own many companies across the entire world. A lot of them have to do with real estate and just hospitality in general. So Splice, they went out, they got the investors, they partnered up with the right people who could afford the spot. And now Splice is a really big part of this team. They're the ones who are making all the decisions, who's going to coach, who's going to play, who's the manager, CEO, etc., etc. They're the ones with the esports experience. They might not have the money, but the guys with the money, obviously they're not going to be making the decisions. They don't know what they're talking about when it comes to esports. So all the decisions are coming down to Splice, a strong endemic organization that's been around the esports scene for a very long time. They have top teams in multiple games, one specifically being the League of Legends, European LCS. They've been a part of the EU LCS since 2015. They also have top teams in Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo, as well as top fighting game players. So just in any esport you can think of, Splice is there, and they usually have a team that's pretty decent. They definitely remind me of another organization, which is Cloud9, who is pretty much in every single esport, and they're usually one of the top teams. They also did win Overwatch League Season 1. So Splice is potentially looking to come into the league and replicate exactly what Cloud9 did with the London Spitfire. Maybe that doesn't make sense right now, but once I finish this video, you guys will see why. Alright, so now that we know all the people that put money down and bought the spot together, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the team. Who's the CEO, who's the manager, and who is the coach? Which will be the first juicy leak that I drop in this video, boys. Get ready for it because it's juicy. Let's start out with the president and CEO of the Toronto Overwatch League slot. We have Christopher Overholt. So most of you guys probably don't know who Christopher Overholt is. Well, I'm going to tell you, and he is an absolute mega star when it comes to big business and traditional sports. Let's just go over his resume real quick because it is insane, boys. He is the former CEO of the Canadian Olympic Committee, also the former vice president of the Miami Dolphins, former vice president of the Florida Panthers, and former vice president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, and we're not done yet, boys. He is also the director of marketing when it comes to the Toronto Raptors. Holy crap, guys, that is just an absolutely insane resume. Like, whoa. From the Olympics to the NFL to the NHL to the NBA, the guy has pretty much been everywhere and involved with huge teams in traditional sports. Well, now he's adding to that resume because he is the new CEO and president of the Toronto Overwatch League spot. Clearly, Christopher Overholt knows what he's doing, and whatever his job is for the Toronto Overwatch League team, he is definitely going to succeed at it. He'll probably handle a lot of marketing and stuff like that, which is super exciting. So that's the guy that Splice wanted to bring in. Now let's go ahead and move on to the general manager of the Overwatch League Toronto spot. We have Jay. Now, not a lot of people know who Jay is. I do personally, though, because he was the manager of my Overwatch team when I did play for Splice. I met him in real life multiple times. He stayed at our gaming house in Boston. And I'll tell you guys, firsthand, he is a stand-up guy and a great great manager for a team. I don't think I've met a staff member in any team in any esport as genuine as Jay. And then if you tie that together with his experience, not only in the military, but just with managing multiple players in multiple esports, over the past 5 years of his life, he has gathered a ton of experience and he is a phenomenal leader, and without a doubt, he will help lead this team to success. And the reason why I fully believe this is because I have received information from my sources, guys, that Splyce is heading into a full Korean direction, very similar to the London Spitfire. So that is the first juicy leak. The Toronto Overwatch League team for Season 2 is going Korean. Matter of fact, they have already been planning with their new coaches for the past 2 months on what direction they want to take. And of course, the direction that they want to take is winning. And because they want to win, they're going to be going with a Korean roster. And I made that comparison with the London Spitfire earlier, and you guys are probably thinking, oh, well, just because they're going full Korean doesn't mean they're trying to follow the London Spitfire steps. That's only a small reason why I made the comparison, guys. The main reason I made that comparison is because, well, the Toronto Overwatch League team have hired the London Spitfire's ex-head coach, which is going to be Bishop. And that's the second juicy leak, guys. So go ahead, pause the video, go down below, comment what you think about Bishop being the new head coach for the Toronto Overwatch League spot. Also, drop a like on the video for the leaks. And now let's talk a little bit about Bishop, because he had an interesting run in the Season 1 of the Overwatch League. So he was the guy who did build the London Spitfire. He picked that team. He decided, I want JC Basan, I want Kong Du Panthera, let's mix them together and create a super roster. And well, he head coached that team all the way to first place in Stage 1. And then boom, something happened. Bishop was apparently released from the London Spitfire. Well, what I'm being told is he actually wasn't released from the London Spitfire. He decided to leave due to personal family reasons back in Korea. Now, the reason why this information was never disclosed is because, well, London Spitfire at the time, they started to underperform and they wanted to find something to blame. And they felt, oh, well, we're underperforming right now. Bishop's not with the team anymore. He could be a good scapegoat. And that's what the London Spitfire ran with. But that's not what happened. Bishop, as I said, had family issues and had to go back to Korea, so he resigned. So let's take this back a little bit. I mentioned earlier that Splyce and the head coach that they hired and other coaches have been preparing for this team for over 2 months. That means since the Overwatch League playoffs started, Splyce has had this spot in the bag, and they already had Bishop hired, and they've been planning on getting a full Korean team. Not only that, but they have also hired 3 other coaches, a full-time translator, a sports psychologist, a personal trainer, and an in-house chef. You want to know what this reminds me of, guys? The Philadelphia Fusion. But even better, because the Philadelphia Fusion, from what I know, don't have a personal trainer or sports psychologist. So with all these resources coming to the Toronto team, that alone makes me think this will be a strong team. And then let's tie in the fact that they do have a Stage 1 champion head coach who built the Season 1 Overwatch League championship team. Okay, now you're talking, right, guys? Now we're talking. Toronto is going to be a big dog in Season 2. Let's also not underestimate the fact that Toronto has been working on their team for 2 months now. That is a huge advantage compared to all the other expansion teams because, well, Washington, D.C. literally just hired their general manager like a week ago. Oh, and so did Vancouver. The only other team who has been working on the only other city that I know of that's been working on their team for a decent time has been the Atlanta spot. And those guys are definitely in good hands, but I just don't think they can compare to Toronto right now. And then they also have an advantage over the existing Overwatch League teams because, well, the existing Overwatch League teams can't pick up free agents until after the expansion teams. Yeah, Overwatch League teams, they can keep their players that they had from last season, but if they want to add a part to their team, they're going to have to get the leftovers, the scraps. The Toronto team and all the other expansion teams are going to have the first picks on all the free agents from Korea, North America, wherever it is. But specifically for the Toronto team, they're going to be able to pick up all of the good Koreans and offer them all the money in the world, guys, because as I said earlier, this Toronto team, they want to win. Their number one goal is to win. They don't want to be the best marketing team like the Houston Outlaws. They don't want to be the drama fuel. They want to be the London Spitfire. They want that championship. And that's exactly why they went out and hired the guy who built the Overwatch League Season 1 champions. Pretty much the smartest thing you could do. And my sources are telling me that they are offering huge contracts to players in order to get the best team possible. They have the money and they are putting it out. They are not the Florida Mayhem. They are not going to be cheap. And as we speak right now, the Toronto team is finalizing a deal with their 2 absolute star core players. And of course, guys, when I get the go ahead to leak leak that stuff, I will do 100%. And of course, if you guys want to know who it is, you have to subscribe because it is going to be leaked on my channel and nowhere else. So real quick again, pause the video, click that red subscription box so you can stay updated on all the juicy leaks, guys. The Toronto team is literally coming out to play for Overwatch League Season 2. They've signed one of the best coaches possible. They're building an insane infrastructure for these players. They have the money. They're going all out. They don't care about being the most popular team. They want the W. They want to be the champions. Insane stuff, guys. And I can go on and keep talking about them, but I've pretty much given you guys all the information I can give out now. Again, if you want to stay updated and know more, be sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below. That's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I'll catch you either later tonight, tomorrow, who knows what it's going to be. I will make a video probably tomorrow morning about the match between Canada and USA and all the beef that's been going down. So again, if you want to see that, subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.